Okay, this is part 2 of the VW Beetle Photoshop tutorial. Alright, in this part of the tutorial, I need to have open the beetlecolor.jpg that I just got finished making. Please make sure that there's only one layer and that all the color is on that one layer. This is the JPEG file. You also need to have open the spotlight background, and yours may have a different number depending on what color you chose. So I chose the purple one, so I have spotlight background too. You need to have both of these open. To get to them, to open them, go to File, Open, find where you saved them, and then press Open. Alright, the first thing I want to do is to select everything in the Beetle color document. So with the rectangular marquee tool, I clicked and dragged from the top corner to the bottom corner to select everything. Then I want to go to Edit, Copy, and then hop over to my other document, the Spotlight background, and go to Edit, Paste. Now I'm going to use a new tool that we haven't used before, and it's called the Magic Wand tool. If I hover my mouse over right here, this says Magic Wand. Sometimes it looks like this, so I want to make sure that I click and hold this down and I'm on the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool selects everything that's the same color. So if I select everything right here, if I click right here, it's going to select everything that is white. If I clicked in here, it would select everything in that light purple color. So it is noticing what color is around and selecting it. Okay, what we really want to do is select the car, not the background. So even though I originally selected that white area to select all the background, what I can do now is to go to Select Inverse, and now I have the car selected. Now I can go into my Quick Mask mode, and that's right below the colors here. So Quick Mask mode, if I hover my mouse over, it says Edit in Quick Mask mode. And that turns my car pink here. What I want to do is to use my black paintbrush, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here, to get rid of this bottom area here, okay? So I want just the car to be selected, not that shadow. See how it didn't cut it out perfectly down there? So I'm going to fix that up down here. And just like when you're painting the car, you want to be as close to perfect as possible so that it looks the most realistic. Feel free to use the navigator to zoom in and make sure that you're getting all the spots that you want to get. Remember that if you mess up and you go into the car like that, you can always flip over to the white paintbrush and make sure that you fix up those mistakes. Alright, to close my navigator, I'm going to click on these right two arrows to just hide it into this little tab right here. Okay, once I've fixed up my pink space, so that selection to where I want it to go, I'm going to go out of Quick Mask mode, and that's a very important step. If you forget to go out of Quick Mask mode, it will not work properly. So I clicked on it, the Quick Mask mode one more time, and you can see that it's not grayed. That means it's not selected. When I click on it, you can see that it's darker gray. That means it is selected. So it's not grayed out now, and I'm out of Quick Mask mode. And then what I want to do is actually use a different kind of mask, and it is called a layer mask. So while everything is selected on the outside and the car is selected, I'm actually going to click on this little button right here. It says Add Layer Mask. And now I've got my car cut out. It looks like it's on the background. That's exactly what I wanted. That looks great. What I want to explain over here is that on this layer I have the image of the car and I have what I just made, which was a quick mask. And you can see I have kind of this black outline around the car. Basically what a quick mask does is it just hides everything that's in that black outline. Okay, so if I wanted to change what I'm seeing, I would edit this quick mask. If I wanted to change the actual car, I would edit the car. But right now I don't want to change either one of them. I think it looks great. What I do want to do is to resize the car to make it smaller and to move it. So to do that, I'm going to click right here on my Move tool. And I should have these transform controls on the side. If you don't have them, then there's this box up at the top that you want to make sure is checked. So if it's unchecked, you don't see them. If it's checked, you see them. I want to see them. And then I'm going to choose this right-hand corner. It's very important that you hold down Shift while you click and drag to make your car smaller. The reason that you hold down that Shift key is because if I don't, I can make the car go out of proportion. I can make it really tall or really small, and I don't like that. Okay, so I'm going to hold down Shift, and now it doesn't matter where I put my cursor. The entire time I'm holding down Shift, it keeps the right proportions, and that's what we want. Alright, so make your car about this size, and then click and drag it so that the white little spotlight in the background is behind the car. When you have it where you want it to go, press Enter, and we'll move on to the next part of our assignment. Alright, the next thing we want to do is we're going to open up the VW logo and select the whole thing just like we did with the car. Go to Edit, Copy, go back to our spotlight background with our car now, and Edit, Paste. Now you can see I have 3 different layers. I have my background layer, I have my car layer, and I have my logo layer. The logo layer, I'm going to, with my Move tool, once again, I'm going to click and drag it over, and I'm going to hold down the Shift key and make it a little bit smaller, about that big. And press Enter when you have it the right size. Then I'm going to use that magic wand tool one more time to select the outside areas. If I click right here, it only selects that one little area, so what I have to do is to hold down Shift and then click on the next corner, the next corner, and the next corner. So the entire time I did that, I was holding down Shift. Now to select the actual logo and not just the background, I'm going to go to Select Inverse and then click on the Add Layer Mask to get rid of that outside area. I want to make that logo just a little bit smaller, so with my Move tool, I'm going to hold down Shift and make it just a little bit smaller and move it to right about here. Remember, whenever you're using the Move tool, when you're moving the item or when you're scaling the item, you always have to press the Enter key when you're done. Alright, the last thing that I want to do is to add some text. So I'm going to click on this text tool, and I'm going to click and drag the area that I want to write the text. So I'm going to write it right there. Then I'm going to type in what I want to say. I want it to say, a lot of attitude, all wrapped up in a tiny little package. And this is an actual wording from a VW advertisement. But what I want to do is I want to take that and I want to change it to a color that looks a little bit better because that black is a little too dark for this ad. I'm going to change it to white. So I'm going to highlight it, and then down here I'm going to click on my purple and then change it to a white. And you can see now it's in this white. And I also want to make the font a little bit bigger. So I'm going to change this to, let's do 18. Actually, let me do 24 and see what that looks like. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, I'm just clicking and dragging on these little sides here to get it right where I want it to be, just like that. And then I'm going to click on my Move tool and click and drag and move it right over here. And I basically have it the way I want it. I do want to change that font in there, so I'm going to click on that text tool one more time And right where I had wrote before, I'm going to highlight that and change this font. Let's see if I can find a font that I like a little bit better. I don't like that one. There we go, I like that. And you can choose a font as long as it looks professional and not tacky, then that's good with me. I don't really care. And also I'm going to add the VW slogan down here at the bottom. So I clicked in here and did a couple spaces. They say drivers wanted at the end of their ads. And that's all I'm going to do. Alright, so this is what your ad should look like. Feel free to move around all the different layers just a little bit to get them exactly how you want them so that it looks really clean and nice. These blue lines are called guidelines, and that's just to show you where the edges of the pages are and how to kind of give you some balance between the left hand and the right hand side. Those would not actually be printed ever, so to get rid of them, you go to View and, View, Show, and then uncheck those guides, and now you can see what it would look like if the guides aren't there. I want to also put like a little drop shadow on this car to make it stand out a little bit more. The way that you do that is by double clicking on the layer with the car, not on the words, not on the pictures, but over here, double clicking, and then click on drop shadow. And if I move this over to the side here, I'm going to uncheck it so you can see. So no drop shadow, it's just making it look a little bit more 3D. And then I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the text. So over here on the text layer, I'm going to double click. Make sure you're not changing the words. Double click. I'm going to move this to the side so I can see and click on drop shadow. And you can see that kind of made my text stand out a little bit. Okay. So this is what the final project should look like. And I want you to go to File, Save As, and it's going to be VW Beetle ad, and I want you to save it as a PSD Photoshop file and click Save. Then I want you to go to File, Save As one more time, and then VW Beetle ad, and then in all caps, turn in. This is so I know that this is the one I want to turn in. And this one you're going to save as a JPEG and click Save. When this box comes up, just click OK. And then now you can go over to Edmodo and turn in that file. Make sure you turn in the JPEG file. That's the file that I'm going to grade. This is a great project. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you for our next tutorial.